Just hours after Governor Gordon Wetherill declared that former Premier, the Honorable Michael Mizik, and 4 of his former cabinet members will likely face criminal investigations into possible corruption or serious dishonesty, Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Floyd Seymour, says that the announcement is just a minor step forward for the country.
The current PNP and their former backbench, their former front bench, have been holding the country hostage. And if you would appreciate that the legal proceedings that Mike Mizik has against the British government trying to stop the order of council is actually slowing down this process. The fact that you have four other ministers for which criminal proceedings are going to take place, those persons are holding the entire country in disrepute because they sit as elected representatives of the country. What I believe would be an appropriate thing for them to do, as we continue to say, we believe that all of those that have been implicated in the Commission of Inquiry ought to not only resign as ministers, but ought to resign as members of the House of Assembly.
The governor also revealed that a special prosecutor and investigator has been appointed during his early morning press conference. The opposition leader applauded the UK government for taking steps to prosecute the former premier and 4 of his former cabinet members and encouraged the governor to continue its quest for complete accountability, transparency, and competency in TCI elected officials.
One of the things I think that he said today that ought to give the people of the country some hope is that the final report recommended legal proceedings to commence against the former premier and 4 of his ministers, and that he was going to go ahead with that. I think that's good news for the people of the country, that an example is to be set, that no one can do what has been done and get away with it. So I'm grateful to that, and I'm pleased with the progress that has been made with respect to the hiring of the prosecutor, the deputy prosecutor, the assembling of the asset recovery team.
Rumors that Governor Gordon Wetherill would lay out the findings of the final report this morning sparked when residents learned of his abrupt press conference. However, once again, residents were told via a live recording through WIV that they would have to wait a little longer for the final report due to ongoing legal proceedings in Turks and Caicos and overseas. The governor stated that he will progress with the recommendations of the final report that do not depend on the entry in force of the order in council. Quote, in order to ensure that good governance can be reestablished as swiftly as possible in the TCI, end quote. Wetherill says he has already begun with the appointment of experts to work in key areas of concern highlighted in the final report with the backing of the UK government. Honorable Seymour says the report should come out regardless of impeding court battles.
It is in the country's best interest to get the redacted report out there, to have the amended report out there, excluding the bits that the courts have said that we can't speak to, and just get that in the public domain. If things change in the court of law, then you publish the rest of that. But I think right now it's important to get as much information to the public as possible, because we've been in a state where there's been no information on it, and the public has not been briefed on what's in the final report. And I think that as a country, the governor owes it to us to inform us and to give us some indication of what's going on.
The opposition leader encouraged continued dialogue between the governor's office, the public, and the media leading up to the publication of the report. Residents who spoke to News 4 today also asked that there be more open communication between the governor's office and the public in relation to this report.
Well, I have mixed feelings about all of this. I didn't hear Governor Tafari's name mentioned at all in the inquiry, and I feel that if they have to face criminal charges, he should also be standing along with them. It's held up a lot of things in the country, and going into slow season, it's going to be detrimental. I think they should have been a little more proactive with getting it out there, and at least a little more respectful to the islanders, the residents here, about giving us information about why it was delayed.
For WIV4 News, I'm Angie Toussaint.